Yeah, Coach, I had a question about Max Duggan. What do you see out of him at quarterback? Seems as he goes, they go.
I think you're 100% correct. I mean, the guy's a winner. We're really concerned about him. Obviously, he can throw the ball, and he's an outstanding passer and got good wideouts. But we're worried about him running the football. He's the leading rusher for TCU. He's just one of them guys that kind of wills the team to win, like you stated, and very elusive in the run game. Got moves. He's a guy that will run over you as well. But I really, really like him, and that's our number one concern is him. Obviously, most of the time it is with the quarterback, but because of his feet, that's we've got to stop him in the running game as well.
Tom.
Hi, Sam. I'm sure you're aware of the guys who've been announcing that they're coming back over the last several days. Just your thoughts about how that helps your team for next year, and you said you were going to talk to a few more, and how that's going.
Well, I think we've had 4 that's come out and said they were returning, and obviously that makes you feel good. It makes you feel good because they want to come back. I mean, that's obviously Grant had an opportunity in the NFL draft, decided to come back, and Myron, we felt like from the grades we got back from him that he definitely was a draftable player, but he came back. And of course, then Davion, we knew Davion was going to come back. I think he announced it on senior day. He didn't, but I think his parents did on the video. And then Ty Clary, we knew was going to come back quite a while ago. And so we got that out yesterday. And we have 3 other guys that I believe will come out that they're coming back today. And then we're still working on a guy or 2, so we'll see how good of recruiters we are. But we certainly, if you can bring your not your entire team, but if you can bring a lot of seniors back, I think that means something to the program. Obviously, they're talented, and we're excited about those guys, and we're excited to announce the other 3 today, and excited about the possibility of possibly getting even more back. We're just really happy that they think enough of the University of Arkansas and the program that they're going to come back for their 6th year or their double senior year, however you want to say it.
Coach.
Sam, I guess last week it came out that Felipe was accepted an invite to the Senior Bowl. What did you think about that honor for him? And I guess, does that mean he's officially not coming back next year?
Well, you'll have to ask him about that. I don't believe that. I think Felipe's come in here and done what he said he would do for the University of Arkansas. I was so excited to see that he got the invite to the Senior Bowl. I believe that he belongs there. I believe that he'll do really well there. But he came here basically to play well enough to be talked about in the NFL draft. And then now with the Senior Bowl, they'll be able to see him live and see how strong his arm really is and get to know him as a person. I think that'll also up his draft stock, just getting to know him as a young man. I don't anticipate him coming back. We've got KJ and Malik and those guys for our future. And we feel in good shape there at quarterback. But Felipe's done everything he could do for us, and I think he'll have a really good game on Thursday as well.
Bob.
Hey, Bob, before you start, there's a lot of different guys opting out and this, that, and other, and Felipe Franks with an opportunity to go to the Senior Bowl and what he's done and this, that, and other, and he did not. I think that shows a lot towards his character. I'm really proud of him that he decided to play in the Texas Bowl.
Sam, I think 3 SEC teams have had to opt out of their bowls because of COVID issues. How's your all's testing? Do you feel confident you guys will, won't have any issues, be able to play this bowl game here?
Well, Bob, I feel confident that we're going to be able to play. They are, as we speak, getting their last COVID test before the game, and if we can stay negative like we were on our last test, then we should have as full a team as we've had since the first game. And so you might say a little prayer. I don't know if the Lord's got time for a negative COVID test, but if he does, we sure could use it.
Dudley?
Coach, after you get done with the bowl game, obviously you'll have, I think you said 10 early enrollees coming in. Just talk about when you expect them in and just how big a deal that is for both them and your program.
I think it's going to be really big, Dudley. We to get those guys to have a spring, assuming it'll be bigger if we have spring ball. But it's going to be big either way. The way of the early enrollees is, it just keeps getting bigger and bigger and bigger each year. Before you'd be lucky to get 1 or 2, and now to get to 10, I can't help but make us a lot better. And on special teams, hopefully we'll have some young guys that can press some of the starters that we have now, that make them better players as well. And it's just a big deal. They're right now they're going to come in the 10th of January and do their COVID test. And then, they can't get on campus or do anything in our building until that gets back, which would be the morning of the 11th, and get them started with their physicals. Hopefully we don't have to spare many days of them being in our off-season workouts, which would start on the 11th for our older guys. So hopefully we can get those guys orientated and get in no later than Wednesday. Hopefully by Tuesday they'll be able to start lifting with the team.
Jacob?
Hey, Sam. It's been such a crazy year to be a fan, obviously with limited attendance and, not being able to get full capacity at games. Now having the opportunity to send you guys off tomorrow to Houston, what's your message to fans this year that have stuck with you through all the craziness of not being able to go to games and see you guys in person?
Well, it's a two-way street on there, because our kids, they want the fans in the stadium as well. You know what I mean? So it's sort of like what we tell our kids, we have to deal with the situation, and we're proud of them, how hard they've played with the limited fans in the stadium. The same way with the fans, we're proud that they've supported us and have followed the Razorbacks, and hopefully are a little more excited about Arkansas football. And, I said it after the Mississippi State game, we finally gave our fans something to be, throw their chest out, and we want to do that more often. We obviously didn't win enough games this year, but we have a way to close out the season with a good note, and that's what we're trying to do. And we want to win for the fans, and we want to win for us as well. But, winning a bowl game gives you about 6-7 months of good feeling, and that's what we'd like to give back to the fans and give that to the Razorback Nation.
Jason?
Hey, Coach, I wonder, the offensive personnel, but what changes do you think might happen with their play calling, with, their offensive coordinator leaving? How do you adjust to that, or do you think there's going to be any changes at all with how they call a game on Thursday?
I don't think so. I'm the understanding that the coach that left may not have been the guy calling the plays anyway. So we don't anticipate a whole lot of adjustment there. Certainly in bowl games, teams put in, some wrinkles and some new plays. You have a little bit more time. This year, certainly not as much time as we normally would in a bowl situation, but I don't think the offense is going to change much. If it does, we'll certainly adjust. But from our understanding, they have the same play caller.
Let me know if you've got more in the chat. Trey Biddy.
Yeah, Coach, I was curious with Clary. You said you've known Clary's coming back for a while, but with Cunningham also coming back, do you still plan to bring in two, ideally, transfers or offensive line recruits?
You know, Trey, I think that is, with Myron and Ty coming back, I still think that we need offensive linemen, and I still think that we need defensive linemen. It might change a little bit more about a transfer versus a grad transfer. You know, if we had an outstanding tackle or something of that nature, you know, we might take him in the grad transfer portal. But just a transfer that might have 3 years, that maybe playing behind a first-round draft pick and he might be a third-rounder, those probably are the guys that we're looking for, maybe even a little bit more than the senior, you know, going to be a senior transfer, maybe looking for a 3-4 year transfer more than we would a 1 year on offense. Now, defense, on the defensive line, we're looking for the best possible player we can get, whether he's 1 year or whether he's 2. We have numbers on the D-line. We just need some size and some, you know, a little bit more playmakers on that side of the ball. So to answer your question on offense, it's probably more of a, can we get 3 or 4 years out of this guy, or 2? On defense, we would take immediate senior grad. We're looking at them kind of a little bit 2 different sets, but we would like to get 2 and 2 with Myron coming back. It could be 1 and 3, but we need some defensive linemen, and we need to get them bad.
Coach.
Sam, after watching Ladarius Bishop, the film from the last game, how did you think Bishop performed, and do you think he's a guy that maybe earned himself that starting job for this bowl game?
I thought he played well. I thought he was probably our best defensive player during the game at Alabama, and that's hard to do when you first start out there at corner. I think we found a home for him. I think he's going to be a really good corner for us, and obviously he has the speed to play out there. So we're really pleased with him. We'll obviously see what happens in the bowl game, but I do believe, you know, it's hard to find cover corners, and I think he could be a really good one.
Tom.
Sam, I was hoping you could update us on the status of Devion and when he might be able to, you know, get back full. And also, you said slowing their quarterback was a real key. What other prime objectives do you have, like in this game? What you have to get done to have a chance to win?
Well, Davion, you know, he's walking around doing good. You know, I think he'll be able to do some things in spring. I don't believe he'll do any contact in the spring, but I think he can do some things on air. He'll certainly be able to do walkthroughs and things of that nature. We'll be really slow with him. You know, ACLs are a slow return injury anyway, but so I think he'll do something in spring. I don't know that it'll be anything. Well, I'm positive it won't be anything full speed getting hit. For TCU, we have to, you know, the first thing when you asked that question, it came off my mind, is we have to contain their return game. I mean, they have really good returners back there, and they've hurt people. The next thing is we have to start fast on offense. I mean, offensively, you know, for whatever reason, 11 o'clock games, we haven't really started fast. This one here is at night. We have. So we've been preaching all week about starting fast. Let's get ready in pregame and get the ball rolling. You know, obviously we have to hang on to the football. They've been really good at getting takeaways, but we have to run the football against TCU, and that's hard. That's a hard thing to do because they're good defensively, but you know, they have a lot of movement, so we have to be able to contain the movement. On defense, again, they're the top rushing team in the Big 12 at 214 a game, we have to stop the run, whether it be the quarterback, the tailback, whoever it may be, but we have to stop the run. And then we have to eliminate big plays because they are a big play team. They have a lot of speed, and we have to make them go down the field and earn everything that they get. And we cannot let them have a 1 or 2 or 3 play drive. We've got to make them earn everything. And if we do that, we'll be right in the football game where we want to be.
Bob?
Sam, what do you thought about the season that Traylon Smith's had? He's obviously a Houston kid going back to his hometown to hopefully show out, I'm sure. What are your thoughts on his season and how excited he is for this game in particular?
Well, honestly, we thought he would do what he's done. I mean, he's just got that makeup of he's a tough kid. That's a hard playing guy. We kind of saw that ever since we've been here, even through the weight room and things of that nature. So he's had a good year. He's tough. He's a leader, and obviously he's excited to go back to Houston. But he's really done about honestly what we expected him to do, and he's been our feature back for a while now. So hopefully he'll have a nice game.
Last one, Nikki.
Hey, Coach. There were some questions when the NCAA said that transfers who were here for the first semester are now eligible. Do you know if Jaquelin Crawford could play in the bowl game?
Yeah, he's going to play. We got that exciting news last weekend or this past weekend, and I think maybe on Friday or something he'll be able to play, and we're going to use him. He's a talent. He's had a really good, when he's down on the scout team, really good attitude. He's in shape and he's available, and we're going to use him.